Hello, hello, hello. I've got another review for you all today. Today's review will be covering Creed 3. Now let's get into it and let's put it on the spectrum. So, Creed 3. I had never seen any of the Creed movies before this. I had seen bits and pieces of Rocky. So, first thing I did was watch Creed 1 and 2 uh, literally the day before I went to go see Creed 3. I really enjoyed all of them. They were all solid movies. But now it's time to get into the real thing. Creed 3 is the best of the trilogy. It is insane. And now let's break it down on why. Now, let's get started with the story. Holy mama, this story is emotional. It is powerful. It is heartbreaking. It is a treat to witness. Everything about it, the pacing of the story, while it is a shorter movie, it did not feel rushed to me. And I blinked and all of a sudden we were at the end of the movie, but it didn't feel like there was a long collapse and in judgment there. It felt consistent throughout the whole runtime, which was crazy to me because usually there's a glimpse at which it feels out of pace, but it was consistently paced. The story was consistently engaging because that's something I noticed with the previous two, is that at moments I was like, oh, this is dragging on a little too long. But this one, I was consistently going, oh my god, this is great. So because of that, easy. It is explosive. It is fantastic. I'm going crazy over this movie. It is a phenomenal film. Hand grenade score. Now let's get into the cinematics. And this is where it gets even better. The story was good. Now the cinematics were even better. All I have to say for this is the third act. The third act is great. Maybe I'll get into a little bit in the spoiler corner later on, but it is a treat, that third act. And the fights, I think, is some of the best fighting we've seen in the Creed trilogy. So, honestly, once again, easy hand grenade score there. First time director Michael B. Jordan. And what have I learned from this experience? That is one thing and one thing only. Michael B. Jordan is a unstoppable juggernaut. He is incredible at anything he can set his mind to. At this point, I'm shocked. If there's another Creed movie, he's gonna write, direct, and star, because holy shit, did he do a fantastic job. And you're trying to tell me that that's a first-time director there? It was really good. My one, issue with it is that there were so many close-up shots that it felt a little weird, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this was phenomenal. Another easy hand grenade score here. Now, holy shit, if the directing was good, if Michael B. Jordan was great at directing, his acting in this movie, even better. And if you watched my Quantumania review, I talked a lot about how Jonathan Majors put the team on his back and carried the film. Jonathan Majors is once again back at it again, eating up his role. He is great in this movie. Him and Michael B. Jordan offer such a contrast that it is a phenomenal experience to witness on the big screen. And just those two is so good. The Tessa Thompson, also great. And the girl who played their daughter, wow, what a phenomenal time. Great performances all around. One notable exception to this movie is the lack of Sylvester Stallone. And what's interesting is that I also noticed that they have Ivan Drago's son Victor Drago. I almost forgot his name there. But they also don't have Ivan Drago, so it's really separating themselves from the previous installations of the Rocky franchise. It is legitimately, this time, it is its own thing. Only characters that have been introduced in the Creed trilogy are in this film, and that is what makes it even more powerful. Another easy hand grenade score here. And now it is time for the shock factor of them all, my expectations / experience. My experience, the theater was pretty empty, but it was a 10 p.m. showing on opening night. So take that, makes sense on why it was pretty empty. But my expectations, I was expecting something similar to the previous two, like a movie that, yeah, I liked it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to rewatch it. Holy shit, everything about this made me immediately go, I'm going to have to rewatch this and sit on it for a little bit longer because it is that good. Like I mentioned in the acting, the directing, everything about this movie just clicked with me right at the beginning. Like immediately once the film started going, I'm like, somewhere late into the first act, I watched it with a friend, and I turned to my friend and I went, this is already 5 stars for me. I don't know why yet. It's only the beginning, but I have a feeling that I know where this is going and it's only going to get better. And I was right. It starts off a little slow, but once it picks up, it gets going, and my expectations were absolutely shattered. I turned and made a quick prediction to my friend about what will happen in the final sequence, and to my surprise, it literally came true in the most perfect visual way imaginable. Like, this movie is insane. Another easy hand grenade score due to the fact that it completely shattered my expectations. I was not expecting it. I was expecting a solid movie. But I was not expecting it to be so much better than what I had anticipated. I was anticipating something like, oh yeah, this is good fights, good cinematography, some good acting, but I didn't feel that it was going to connect with me as much as it did, and I just connected really well with this film, which is a shock because I didn't really feel that connection with the previous ones, but this one just felt different. Like, it was, I don't know how to explain it, but again, easy hand grenade score for this one. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit of spoilers, but it's not necessarily on how the story of the movie goes, but it is still considered a spoiler, so I'm going to flash that spoiler warning. I've probably been flashing it for a little bit now. Going to give you a little pause to click away if you haven't seen the movie. Alright, now let's get into the spoiler corner. The third act boxing sequence, it is probably one of my favorite boxing sequences I have ever seen in film. It shows the emotional weight of the final fight, and it encapsulates it perfectly. I do not know how they could have done a better job with that final fight. Like, you start off round 1, it is brutal. It is head-to-head. You can see that there is a lot of bad blood between these two. There is anger there that has been built up for years. And then the second round gets even tougher. And then all of a sudden, it fades. The stadium's empty. It's just them. And they go all out. And then we flash back into reality after a solid 5 to 8 minutes of pure boxing madness. They are at each other. They are going for the kill. They're not just trying to win. They are going for the kill, the knockout blow. They are trading blows left and right, and the scenery in this fight calls back everything that happens before in the film. It is a phenomenal time, and it then ends off perfectly. The fight, in my personal opinion, it ends perfectly. Okay, so that'll be the end of Spoiler Corner. As you can tell, this is an easy, just, let's be real here, it did a clean sweep. There was, nothing about this movie made me not want to rewatch it. Every part of it was explosive, was direct. I am ready to rewatch this again, and maybe again. Like, I will show this to everyone. And what's nice about it is that it kind of stands on its own. There are references to the past franchises. There are references to Creed 1. There's references to Creed 2. There are references to the Rocky films. But it stands apart on its own. And that is what makes it phenomenal watch. That is all I have for you all today. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll catch you up on the next one. Peace.